On July 8, 2007, the gods dropped a load on us, and this load just happened to be one of the most popular cartoon series of all time, at least in my eyes, and that is Total Drama Island.
Total Drama Island!
And while you're enjoying this great season of Total Drama, you can rest assured thanks to today's sponsor, Atlas VPN. Atlas VPN is a digital tool developed by some of the best cybersecurity experts. They make sure when you're connected through their servers that all of your information is kept absolutely safe, so all of your data is encrypted, your IP address is hidden, your location is off the radar, so point blank if any hackers want to steal any information about you, they can. It's like trying to cut through a titanium wall with a butter knife. It's not gonna happen. With more than 6 million users worldwide, Atlas VPN is very user-friendly, offers loads of amazing features such as being able to protect all your devices with one single subscription, as well as getting the best deals while shopping online, including online subscriptions like Netflix, Spotify, airlines, hotels, and much more. Especially with inflation these days, you want to save all the money you can get. But by far my favorite feature has got to be changing your digital location. So now when you're having Netflix movie night, all you have to do is open Atlas VPN, change your location, then refresh Netflix, and that's it. Now you'll be able to effortlessly access shows and movies that aren't even available in your country. All of this plus much more, and for the cherry on top, with the ultimate discount link in the description, you'll be able to have the most affordable, amazing premium service for just $1.70 a month, plus an extra 6 months for free. So with that being said, that's 85% off, so you don't want to miss their Black Friday deal. It's a limited time offer. Again, only $1.70 with an extra 6 months for free. And if for some reason you're not satisfied with Atlas VPN, they provide a 30-day money-back guarantee. So do yourself a favor, click the link in the description. You'll thank me later. I mean, yeah, sure, I watched other shows around this time like SpongeBob and the Fairly OddParents, but when I got into the show, I really got into it. Releasing in Canada on Teletoon first, and Cartoon Network in the US the following year, Total Drama was literally Survivor, the animated series. You had a group of contestants on an island competing in intense challenges to try to win the $100,000 grand prize. Honestly, I keep forgetting that it wasn't $1 million until the final episode of the season, but that's besides the point. So today I thought we would go ahead and go back in time, which would be 2007 through 2008, a world where Steve Jobs was on stage about to release the first iPhone, playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the PC with my code Red Mountain Dew. It was all really great. So let's show how much we really appreciate this season, how much Total Drama Island impacted us, how it really changed the game, and taken all the entertainment this season has given us, and what better way to start than with the season that started it all. But before we dive into everything, be sure to click that like and subscribe button so I know you like my content. Without further interruptions, let's begin. As you know, Total Drama Island was the start to this amazing series created by both Jennifer Perch and Tom McGillis. Not long after, we would see a rise for Total Drama when they released Total Drama Action, and the peak of Total Drama in my opinion, that being Total Drama World Tour. Yeah, Revenge of the Island wasn't bad, but it wasn't that good either. By All-Stars and Pacateo, the series was in a total decline, so the writers decided it was time to try something new, which got us Total Drama The Redonkulous Race. The Redonkulous Race not only changed the game completely with a race around the world with teams of 2, but they also added a brand new host, that being Don. Don was really laid back and stuck to his guns on the rules as opposed to Chris. While I wouldn't go as far to say he's better than Island Chris, he certainly stomps any Chris past season 4. Honestly, I can only assume that he will only grow worse and worse as the seasons go on, especially with the promotional flyer for the new seasons pointing out that he will still be, in fact, still sadistic.
But it's bad for ratings, so I hope some of you get really hurt.
Anyways, after the Redonkulous Race, they decided to go in another completely different direction. It just so happened that this direction couldn't have been more wrong. They not only completely butchered the competition aspect, but decided it would be a great idea to shrink the characters down into little babies and put them in a daycare setting. And thus, Dramarama was born. Why? I'll for sure dive more into each season and discuss my thoughts on every single one of them, most likely going in order, so by doing the math, I'm sure you can guess what season I'll be doing next. So finally, for right here, right now, let's talk about Total Drama Island. Starting things up at good old rundown Camp Aqua, Chris introduces us to the 22 contestants, and they couldn't be more different. Each character has a teen stereotype, some I'm sure you met at some time or another. You had the goth girl Gwen, the mean queen Heather, the delinquent Duncan, the jockless jock Tyler, the lovable goofball Owen, the party obsessed Jeff, and Napoleon Dynamite?
Hey Patrick, what am I now?
Napoleon Dynamite.
I'm
Harold.
What's the difference?
Time to land that fish. Freaking idiot.
Idiot!
Oh my God!
I mean, Harold. Honestly, I could go on and on with this list. The point was, each character had their own calling card in a sense, and it's what made these characters so iconic to begin with. They didn't just feel like a straight carbon copy of a stereotypical teen, they genuinely felt like good quality characters, with a lot of the characters you could really relate to, and I think that's what made the first generation cast really stand out. Even Chris McClain and Chef Hatchett themselves were not yet completely hell-bent on killing their contestants. They really felt like two guys that could have their own show in the real world. While yes, he did still have a charm for injuries to boost ratings, but it wasn't even close to the level of insanity and bloodthirst he showed in All-Stars and Pacateo. I'll definitely be making a video on the evolution of Chris sometime in the future, but just know his behavior at this point wasn't that bad compared to the later seasons. After all the introductions, Chris splits the contestants into two teams, the Screaming Gophers and the Killer Bass. Next, we see the first ever Total Drama Challenge, cliff diving into water with ravenous sharks. The concept is pretty simple: win the challenge, your team is safe from elimination, and 9 times out of 10 got a reward, whether it be a 5-star dinner under the stars or staying at a 5-star resort. However, if your team loses, then your team has to send someone home. Most of the time the eliminations felt fairly justified, with only a few exceptions. So now that we got the basics out of the way, let's talk about the start of the season. By this point, it's all about learning what each character is capable of and what their personalities are like. Right away, the most interesting character that is going to stand out is Heather. Reason being is because she's the main antagonist or villain of the season. Her mentality is to win the 100 grand no matter the cost. Whether it's through manipulating Lindsay and Beth into an alliance where she's pretty much the dictator, or through sabotaging someone's relationship, that being Gwen and Trent's. While her evil nature seems to dwindle in the later seasons, by this point she's ruthless as ever, no question about it. The writers do a really great job at making you want Heather to pay for what she's done, and man did they give us the most karma-filled episode ever. I triple dog dare you, where Owen and Gwen team up and whip Heather with a whole bunch of deadly dares. It comes to the point where she finally gets eliminated and loses all her hair in the process. Thank you, Lindsay.
Two-faced, backstabbing, lying little, no-good, selfish, heartless, pushy, bossy, mean bully of a girl! I always told them they were wrong.
All in all, this season brought us an S-tier villain. No debate there. There were also a lot of other good characters and moments I absolutely adored, like Courtney going from a stuck-up CIT to finally letting loose and getting with Duncan, Harold showing off his mad beatboxing skills and his figure skating maneuvers as he outclasses the powerhouse Owen, Lindsay finally standing up for herself against Heather, Gwen finally getting with Trent, back when all the relationships were perfect and not derailed. Pretty much this season was all about fighting for screen time, but it didn't feel on the same level as the shorter seasons did, like Revenge of the Island and onwards. Most of the characters did get their moments to shine, aside from maybe Ezekiel, Noah, Eva, Katie, and Sadie, and so on. All in all, the cast was pretty stacked. Getting to the challenges, they were very simple, but fun and creative. Take the big sleep. You had the contestants doing everything and anything they could to stay awake, like DJ tying himself to a tree, or Courtney constantly moving in place. You had the good old-fashioned game of hide and seek. Seeing Lindsay hide in the most obvious of places was so hilarious to me, and we can't forget DJ and Owen's hiding spot on the roof. Not like anyone's gonna see him up there. How about the classic game of dodgeball? So much action entertainment packed into a short 22 episode storyline, Owen being a pure powerhouse, Duncan turning the tide with his skill from Juvie, all for Harold to finish it off with his wicked skills. Can't forget the water skiing on mud where Heather literally loses her shirt. Point blank, these challenges were simple but actively entertaining to watch. Plus, it was great to have a lot of chef time this season too, so you know, win-win. So to sum up, we have great characters, a great antagonist, amazing challenges, great plot points, Chris and Chef weren't totally insane. Overall, this season really had it all. The only small issues I guess I could say I honestly have with this season is making the season feel like the game was rigged for Heather at times. For example, her making the bold move of sabotaging Gwen and Trent's relationship before she knew she even had invincibility. That was definitely a little sus. I also wish we could have seen a little bit more of a threat than just Heather, but it seems they wanted to make her the only big bad wolf this season, which isn't that big of a deal, but I still hope one day we get a season where we have 2 antagonists eliminating people left and right. Basically a what if Alejandra was in Total Drama Island kind of thing. I'll have to expand more upon that in my world tour video. Getting to the finale, you had Owen versus Gwen, 2 great characters racing it out in an obstacle course, and the best part was all the eliminated characters came back and each got to help whoever they wanted to win. It's such a shame we don't get to see this in later seasons. I mean, yeah, they brought back 1 or 2 characters at most, but compared to this, it's like a drop in the ocean, since we literally get to see everyone come back and help in the challenge. Anyways, Owen won in my country, but the best part was that just when you think Total Drama Island is over, it's not. We get a special episode where everyone has a chance to win the million here. We see interesting matchups of characters teaming up to find the million, like Ezekiel, Beth, and Lindsay, or even Eva, Izzy, and Noah. Here we get to see a small sneak peek of Justin's antagonistic qualities when he uses his looks to steal the money away from Izzy. It's just a nice relaxing episode watching the case be passed around from team to team. All in all, a great ending to Total Drama Island for sure. Not only that, but this season pretty much had some of the best episodes the series has to offer, like Hook, Line, and Screamer, I Triple Dog Dare You, the very last episode Really, Dodgeball, Total Drama Island, and so on. You can tell the island is by far the most iconic setting, since they've gone back to it in Revenge of the Island. Now with the upcoming revival, we're seeing it again. While World Tour is my favorite season of Total Drama Island is by far the most iconic and had Chris at his best, as well as the challenges being simple but enjoyable. It got Chef more involved, gave us a lineup of great characters. Total Drama Island by far changed the game and really impacted my life and inspired me because now I connect to a lot of people I wouldn't have even met without this show. In the end, Total Drama Island really set the bar high for what was about to come next, and this season just offered so much that it still holds up to this day, so you could keep going back and rewatching it again and again. It's definitely in the top 3 minimum for the best seasons of Total Drama, but what do you guys think? Is this season your favorite, or does that title go to another season? Just please don't tell me it's All-Stars because that season is absolute trash. But alright viewers, that's the end of our list. Like I said, I plan on talking about every single season of Total Drama, and hopefully one day ranking every single episode of Total Drama, LS Mark style. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe as per the theme song. I would like to be famous too. With all that said, I look forward to seeing you with our next list.